A lot of you guys have been asking, Dusty, which coins are you buying for the next bull market? Because right now prices are down, and so it's time to snatch up some coins for the cheap. At least that's my thoughts on the matter. You know, I like to buy coins when they're cheap, not when they're expensive. And so I'd say right now is a pretty good point to look at some diversification. Because long story short, I think XRP is by far one of the best cryptos out there. Hands down. But hopefully you guys know by now that in a bull market, you're going to get these different trends. Meaning last time, for example, could have been meme coin season where meme coins just absolutely pop off. The next bull run could be something different. And so if you're putting all your eggs into one basket, for example, only the payments realm and then specifically only XRP, you're going to miss out if the next season is another DeFi season, for example, or if it's something completely unrelated. So let me tell you guys exactly how I basically prepare for the next bull market and what I do. First of all, I always follow a similar principle of Bitcoin first in the bearish season. When things start to crumble down, the bull market is ending, I go to either Bitcoin or stablecoins, but I'm personally more a fan of keeping it in crypto. But again, Bitcoin would be my best choice. Then as the market starts to come back ever so slightly, you can start to go into your major altcoins, which I'd say that's the period we're in right now. You go for your major altcoins that you think will do extremely well in the next bullish phase and that have a high probability of sustaining a little bit more downside. To elaborate, let's say we hypothesize that this is what the next cycle is going to look like. The 4-year cycle has remained perfectly intact. You could have gone into a coma for the past 2 years and ignored macro. Inflation, the Fed, Evergrande, the Fed guy from BIS, woken up, checked this chart, and gone back to bed. With this notion being that right now we're in like a little upwards, sideways, slightly upwards bias period, where afterwards you just see crazy bullish season, which again, this is following the halving cycle. And usually, as I said, the next couple of months are quite bullish, but it just depends a little bit because the last cycle, this was actually still a bearish period. But as you can see, the massive bull run basically starts at this point, and it has already started, in my opinion. So right now, as I said, is that area where you buy these massive altcoins. I'm talking personally, all right? A little list of coins that I'm pretty excited about. Let me actually share it with you guys right here. This is a little list of different cryptos I'm pretty excited about. We have to add XLM, and I guess take off Algorand if I wanted to keep it at 9. But Chainlink, phenomenal. Can't name anything better almost. XRP, absolutely stunning. They've got themselves so much coming up in the pipeline over the next couple of months, but specifically, it's the only properly regulated crypto out there. Chainlink is a little bit more difficult to explain, as I'd say they're a fundamental builder. Idea there being, regardless of what happens in crypto, these guys will stay around and will keep expanding their business and keep doing better, while they, as of this point, just keep getting a larger and larger market share. Because their use case is pretty specific. What they basically do is through their oracles, they take this real world data and put it into the blockchain. So let's say, this is the best way I can describe it here. Let's say you wanted to grab a real world inflation rate and put it onto the blockchain. How do you do that? Well, you do that via oracles to basically verify the data is correct. But even if you wanted to put the information from a sports match onto the blockchain or anything else, usually you use oracles, and there's many different providers, but Chainlink is the biggest one, and they've got so much more. But it's just to give you guys an idea. HBar's gotten some pretty nice partnerships recently, or I should say announcements recently. But HBar I mostly hold for the partnerships, the connections, and again, I don't think HBar is going to be number one. I don't think they're going to win the top of the top crypto race. But as far as I'm concerned, they're going to be very high up on the scale. Please also understand that I will probably miss some cryptos because at the end of the day, I'm just showing you an example here of a couple different cryptos to hold and why, but there are many extremely good cryptos out there that I can't mention just now because there are too many. All right, I've got a full list of cryptos in my portfolio, and the thing is, not all of them do have an equal amount of money, right? I've got more money in XRP than I've got in some random crypto. I don't know which one. RSS3, for example. I've got more money in XRP than I've got in the other one. It doesn't mean, though, that I don't think the other crypto, for example, the RSS3, would do well. A lot of these guys, well, actually, let's explain two things. One is, a lot of these projects that I'm also holding, I've invested in pretty early. So I got myself a good price, so I'm just holding on to profits. That's one thing. And the second of all is, again, it's all a probability game. So you're buying with the highest probability of success with also the highest multiplier. So it's a multiplier in that sense as well. It's a probability game in the sense of you can, for sure, find a different crypto that will most likely bring you more gains, like a meme coin, for example, but the probability of success is significantly lower, meaning you've got to equate this for yourself. You got to put this onto paper or think it out loud. What do I think the probability of success is, and what do I think the multiplier is? The riskier you get, usually the lower the probability of success, but the higher the multiplier would be. With Bitcoin, for example, do I think Bitcoin will do well? I personally think it's for certain. I think it's 100% sure it'll do well. But the time frame is not certain, and I am pretty certain that almost any other crypto that I buy will make me more money than investing it into Bitcoin. That does not mean, however, that if I wanted to have a very low risk profile, if I was getting a lot older, or if I was at a point where I just don't care anymore. If I just don't care anymore about those 10x, 100x gains, but I just want to see my portfolio slowly go over the years, I diversify more into Bitcoin. But right now, I've got a value proposition, which is XRP. It's got a pretty good position to exceed almost any crypto out there, with a pretty high certainty because of what they've got on the regulatory field, etc., and the suppression from the last bull markets. So that's why I'm focusing so heavily on it. But otherwise, if I had to put away XRP, I'd probably go more for Bitcoin. Ethereum's got bullish partnerships. Yeah, you can say the PayPal idea that they're building a freaking stable coin on Ethereum is pretty bullish, but as you guys all saw, it didn't really pump the prices. Nor did the spot ETFs for Bitcoin, because right now there's just no volume. I think there's a lot of suppression from the upper echelons, or right now they don't want crypto to go too much just quite yet because they're building the fundamentals of it all. So they're keeping the prices low, and they've basically given the market makers a little month off, or a little year off, I guess. Because probably all these guys know that right now we were in one of the most dark periods for crypto. I mean, this was the lowest amount of volume in 3 years. And even though I'm starting to see a slight uptick today in prices, that could very well be just turned down tomorrow. We must also, as a baseline, quickly say here, the main catalyst for the next bull market is also pretty unknown. I mean, we all know and believe in the cycle and the idea that it's going to come. But as a matter of fact, every single cycle, it's something different that basically gets people's excitement back in. For the most part, it's just going to be people's hype and other people's excitement. That's how every bull market comes along. You see some sort of pump it up, so to speak. You see other people get excited about that, and other people responding with more buying. And so it's a little, I guess, sort of a Ponzi scheme at the end of the day. Any price that goes up is just people trying to sell on to other people, but then trying to buy before somebody else buys. It's kind of strange if you start thinking about market dynamics, but anyway, to continue back on my altcoin list, a lot of these things I think will do pretty well in the next bullish phase. Quant, IOTA, XDC, Aptos, and Sui. Out of those, I've made multiple videos about Quant, IOTA, and XDC. Not actually so much about Aptos and Sui, but the story is pretty simple. I speak with institutional investors a lot. I'm myself an institutional investor, as you guys might know, meaning we got a crypto venture fund and invest in cryptocurrencies early. And in that game, I've gotten to know many of the biggest goats, I'm gonna call them, people that have done exceedingly well with very small amounts of money. And actually, just last month, I made a friend. And what a friend at that, huh? This man is from India. He started with $500, I think about 4 years ago, and he's now got himself $500 million. And what did they do? Well, they took a very large portion of that, pulled it together with a couple of other wealthy guys, started the new venture fund, and now they're going crazy. But one of the things that they told me, together with the advice I got like a month ago from another VC investor who also made crazy amounts of money. Usually these guys make good money if I basically sit down to ask for advice or get a sort of lecture. And they told me the next bull run, there's a high probability that many of these main VC-backed layer ones are going to be popping off. And right now we're still pretty early. I mean, Say, it's not in this list here, but it's pretty hyped up. And I just saw the latest investment round was about $800 million, with the idea that Sui right now is about $400 million. Yet Say is launching at 800, or at least is basically, I think on the Binance Launchpad is going for like 800 million or so. It's leading me to believe that that's all indeed pretty low valuation. But that's mostly why these prices are going down from these two, because they're majorly backed by institutions and they're getting unlocks every week, month, quarter. Just for reference here, you can actually see a little bit of what it looks like. The problem with Sui is that you got to find yourself, in my opinion, right? This is all not finished advice, just my opinion. A good spot to buy, as generally speaking, the price is going to go downwards unless the better market comes along. You can see about $690 million worth of Sui is unlocked. In lock is 4.09 billion Sui as of this point, and 5 billion for some reason is untracked. That's peculiar. Anyway, you could just basically follow along exactly when large portions of Sui are going to hit the market. If you're a holder, I definitely All right, looking at this chart, try to sell everything in around April or May. Hopefully that's one of the higher points of the market already, because you can see June 2nd is going to be a major unlock. And so if we were smart, we'd definitely sell a good bunch slightly before that happens. But that's a story for a different day. I literally look at these unlocks every single day to make sure that I'm not holding something which is going to get a massive dump of tokens rather soon. But it also depends. A lot of them are linear, yet some are in major blocks, so to speak. It also depends on which phase. It depends on so many factors, but usually it's safer to have coins that have a higher percentage of tokens unlocked. With Aptos, for example, you can see as well, it's only 17.1%, but that's because it's new. Yet because of all this pressure, I do think a lot of the VCs do want to pump the price up, and they're going to put a lot of money into making sure the ecosystem grows. I mean, the competition is growing fiercely, right? And it's a matter of question. Can Ethereum survive? Can Ethereum encompass it all? Is it going to be the layer 2s like Base, Coinbase's Base, on top of Ethereum as a layer 2 that are going to encompass all the money because of all the connections and money that they've got to expand? Or is it still going to be newer layer 1s that are built better in a centralized pretty much manner, but better? Well, a lot of these guys do seem to think so, even the guys that did not invest. So I'm definitely putting some good money into those, but I am not necessarily putting the most amount of money into those. It's a little side quest, which is why I put them a little bit below on my list. This is not in any order. And the reason I said at the start to take Algorand off is because even though I've got a good chunk of Algorand, I've honestly not been buying as much as I used to. I'm already a big holder and I'm not buying too much, mostly from the perspective of, well, there's a lot of pressure from the SEC on ADA, Solana, Algorand, and I do think a lawsuit is eventually going to come. Do I think they'll win? Yes. Let's put that clear. I do believe ADA, Algorand can probably win the case. Solana, I'm not so sure, can probably win the case, but I do think that will take a lot of time, and the pressure on the downside is going to be so severe on the short term potentially that it might actually be better for me to buy a different crypto than this one. As I said, I'm just holding on to my tokens, but it's just my philosophy saying if these tokens have already been basically poked with a freaking stick for a while by the SEC, and there's a good chance the SEC wants to get their little revenge, the little money grab, the little allegation, well, then why not just go for something else for the meantime? And I'm holding on for in case it doesn't happen, the bull market does come, as these cryptos are still phenomenal in my opinion. Cardano is freaking huge and Algorand is huge too. But I do believe that I have a pretty good certainty with other cryptos too. And so for that reason, I am focusing more on those. And as I said, you can't buy every single crypto all the time. You name a crypto right now, I've probably got some money in it. And I always take a look at you guys' suggestions in the comment section as well. Whenever you guys say, hey, check this out, buy this one, potentially look into this. I never FOMO buy unless we're in a crazy bull market, but I always research because, well, usually every now and then, a new coin pops up that you never knew of. You've never heard of it before, but it's absolutely awesome. And sometimes it gets pointed to me in the craziest of manners, and that's why I always appreciate the comment section. You guys are awesome. I didn't say it at the start just quite yet, but guys, if you did enjoy this little video, make sure you press that like button. Next bull market, we're all going to be laughing at just how cheap things were right now. I think we're really going to be laughing. It might take some time, but I definitely think the time is going to come. Now, let me know down below which cryptos I should add to my list and which cryptos I should take out, and that's about it. See you guys later. Another one, make sure you put the notification bell on, a little ticky on, so, if something crazy happens, at least you get notified. Yeah, that's about it.